But Morgan Smithies was outstanding in this game, and Jack Wellsby, quite frankly, wasn't, was he?
He wasn't. He didn't have a good game.
I think one of the key things that Wigan have that you guys don't have the same, and certainly didn't in this match, is that ability to strike from nowhere. And we saw that on the try with Cooper's offload. Brad O'Neill, by the way, let's play a 20-year-old kid at hooker and see him have an awesome performance.
Yeah,
this is his second awesome performance, awesome 80-minute performance against you guys this season, in fact, because he did the same at Ellen Road. But, you know, what he did on that play was fantastic, getting it to Harry Smith, and obviously Jay Field's going to be there to finish it off because he pushes up so often. He's always there when there's an opportunity. Of course, the try right at the end of the game as well just shows how those two, Field and French, can conjure stuff out of nothing because of their skill set as much as anything about their speed as well. The speed is the absolute, you know, difference maker, but their skill and vision and ability is also already there, and the speed just takes them on a level, doesn't it? But I think Wigan had Marshall's try as well, really good play by Cade Cuss. That's been overlooked a little bit in how well Marshall finished it, but Cade Cuss picked up that loose ball and got it away to Marshall into space very quickly, and set that whole thing in motion. So there was a lot of, I think, in this game, Wigan's speed of thought and transition from defence into attack, because we had to defend a fuckload in this game through our own errors as much as anything else, don't get me wrong, was really the telling difference, I thought. Whereas your team, maybe they were living in their fears a bit because they were too scared to give the young kids the ball, maybe, like you say, but it certainly caused mistakes, but I think Wigan's defence helped cause those mistakes just as much as anything.
Yeah, no, I think Wigan's defence at the Magic Weekend was extremely good. I thought it was really good again here. I just don't think with that back line, Saints had enough creativity to really test that defence. So we made a lot. Having said that,
Lomax and Wellsby didn't trust Davies, did they? They just didn't trust him.
No. No, I think that's right. So, yeah, we are where we are. It was, in my view, it was entirely predictable. In fact, I did predict it.
I think once Makinson wasn't on the team sheet, I think that swung it in Wigan's favour for me.
I predicted we'd lose by 10 before Makinson was called out. Once Makinson was out, I predicted we'd lose by at least with 3 to 4 scores, and that's the way it turned out.
So James Roby, then.
One thing we do have to learn is don't chuck the bloody ball on the floor against Wigan, because if you do, they're very like to snaffle it up and stick it to one of the fast boys. So please don't chuck the ball on the floor. Try and keep it in your hands if you possibly can, because it happened in the semi-final. It happened again this weekend.
Yeah, but and as far as Wigan are concerned, we've shown we can defend like that with that intensity for a long period of the game. We just need to make sure we keep 13 on the field. Roby, then. We were talking about Roby. One thing I wanted to check, because I'm not sure, but does this mean Roby's going to be able to set any sort of appearance records for St Helens playing this 20th year?
Oh, no, I can't answer that question, Mark. I'm not sure about that. I'll look that up and I'll get back to you.
There was a couple of injuries out of this game as well. Liam Farrell,
is he finished for the season?
That's the word.
Shit.
That's the word, and it looks like that would mean the World Cup is a miss as well.
Nah. What was the problem? Is it knee ligament?
Yeah. So so obviously he scored the great try. I mean, we've made the joke this year, haven't we? Is he a ghost or is he a god? I say god, but he clearly was a ghost to the St. Helens defence.
Yeah, no, Passage still hasn't seen him
on that score. How the guy got any second rower in the country who's going to score that try? There's only Liam Farrell. It sounds like it is bad. I've heard from a couple of different places now that that's the fear. But the scan results haven't been sort of confirmed yet. But that's
he had. Was it about 3 years ago he did his knee?
The only significant injury I can remember him having is when he did his pec in about 2017.
Oh, yeah. It was his pet, not his name.
Wormsley as well, he's going to miss a couple of regular season games, isn't he? But there's nothing been mentioned to suggest he's going to miss the playoffs or the World Cup, so that's
he'll be back. He'll be back for the semi-final.
Yeah. But to be honest, I think Wigan played him really well. What they didn't let you guys do is do anything off the back of Wormsley.
No. The play the ball was glacial, to say the least.
Look, you're only going to see that one way, and say that it was only slow when you were when you were playing the ball.
I thought it was glacial both ways.
Yeah, I'm not quite so sure. I thought there was an intensity to it that was there enough, but Wormsley didn't play the ball properly anyway, does he? So
never has.
That's a worry. It's a worry for the World Cup, when it's an Aussie ref.
Yeah, because we won't get that sort of play the ball in the World Cup, I don't think.
I hope we do.
It'll be a lot faster.
Yeah. Anyway, that's round 25 done. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to make friends again, and then we're going to talk about round 26. Right, round 26, David. You've wanted to get to it for about 25 minutes, and we're finally there. I don't know why. You got battered on round 26 as well.
We'd have got here a long time ago if it had been up to me. But there you go. I'm just a bad loser, Mark, as you rightly say.
Well, it's lucky for you. You haven't had to be used to that very much often.
Yeah.
The tide's turning. Okay. So, round 26 started on Sunday. Hull FC played against Toulouse. It was 24-0 to Hull FC at half-time, so game over. 38-12 at full-time. Obviously, Toulouse didn't have much to play for, and neither did Hull FC by this stage either. 8,765 was the crowd. Aaron Moore was the referee, his first Super League game for a while. In terms of the team stats, FC had more ball and made more metres, plus crucially 6 breaks to 2 in a 7-try-to-2 win. More errors and penalties were the undoing of Toulouse.
For the winners, I can never say this name, Vulikijapani?
Yeah.
2 tries, 5 tackle bus, 193 metres. That's impressive. Cameron Scott, 187 metres. Scott Taylor, 122 metres. Harvey Barron, who I don't know, to be honest. I don't think I've seen him play. 2 tries, 1 try assist, 103 metres, and 2 clean breaks.
No, he was the kid that we were talking about last week, if you remember, where the Adam Pearson had said, people sort of lip-read him saying, get him off, because he'd had a bit of a shocker, and then absolutely class for the lad to bounce back, I'd say.
Brilliant. Well done, Harvey. For the losing Toulouse side, Elias Bergal, 1 try, 166 metres, lateral. Schmaukel, 5 tackle bus, 145 metres, and Harrison Hansen, who's still going, 120 metres.
Yeah, some old-timey props there, weren't there? Harrison Hansen and Scott Taylor having stats performances. Esther said, a win. Always seemed in control. Jake's back doing Jake things. The youngsters all did good, especially Harvey Barron, who showed what he can do after his nightmare against Trin.
And Paige said, after only being able to name a 19-man squad, I feared the worst. However, hats off to the young kids. They really worked hard for each other. Great to see Harvey Barron bounce back after the match against Wakefield. Time to rest up and get ready for the derby. Fingers crossed, no more bans or injuries.
There was no more bans, and I didn't see any injuries reported, so all good there, Paige.
No.
Scoot said, great to get the win, but made up for Harvey Barron having such a good game. Good to see Cam Scott back again. Yeah, me and Scoots love a bit of Cam Scott. Lots of positives with the youngsters and feeling of being a team rather than a group of individuals. Shame it's the penultimate game. And Joshua's granddad said, back on the winning road. Barron put his Wakefield experience behind him and showed his potential for the future. Connor able to do his stuff as a fashless pack laid a platform to play off. Aaron definitely better than Liam. Pelissier, lots of effort for Toulouse. Yeah, I think Will Gardner, was it? He made his debut over the doubleheader weekend for Hull FC. So another young player getting blooded through there. People, who said it? Two people have mentioned about Connor being able to do some Connor stuff. Have you watched the highlights of this one?
This was the one game I haven't seen over the whole weekend.
Right, okay, so Jake Connor, did so much Connor stuff, you wouldn't believe it, right? So what he did...
Where was he playing? Was he playing centre?
Fullback. So he showed again why people think he could be in the England team. 3 more try assists, albeit the last one for Uli Kijapani. It wasn't really him creating the try so much, just the Toulouse defence disappearing from 65 metres out and Uli Kijapani just showing pace. But as well as doing those Connor things, he did all the Connor things because if you watch the Ilias Bergel try in the second half for Toulouse, Jake Connor absolutely gave up on the play. Bergel threw a dummy that was very obviously not going to get past inside. Connor just sort of threw his hands up in the air and stood there 15, 20 metres out from the try line. Didn't bother chasing back, didn't try and stop the try. That's why he's not in the England team. So he did all the Connor things.
Yeah.
This is the thing with Connor. Every time you think, because he set up the 2 Barham tries with really good bits of play that we see from him all the time. These really good bits of play. He had a good kick in the build-up to one of the other tries as well. But it's still, there's something that shows up every week, even just on highlights, that shows the guy's fucking lazy. And that's why Sean Wayne won't want him in his side, no matter how class he is, because he is fucking class.
Yeah. He's certainly great with the ball. I always like watching Connor play when he's not playing against us. But, he between his poor defensive effort, and I think it's not the first time this has been mentioned before, and his poor discipline, you just can't do that at international level. So that I can quite understand why Sean Wayne wouldn't want him in his squad. You've got a whole squad sort of morale and so on and so forth to think about as well. So.
Yeah, and I'd sooner have someone who does a bit of the annoying pats people on the head, or the stuff that you see from Wellesby and you saw in retaliation from some of the Wigan players to Wellesby this week. But I'd sooner have someone who's too competitive than someone who isn't competitive enough. I'd sooner have someone who would be, not someone who cheats, by the way. Let's get that.
No.
And I know we did see there was an allegation thrown against Wellesby, wasn't there, very early on in the season in a game against Hull, actually, that was on Channel 4, about him maybe jumping into a dangerous position to get a sin bin and stuff. So yeah, okay, there is that there, but I'd rather have most of what we see from Jack Wellesby than most of what we see from Jake Connor, for example, because one player at least I feel is competitive and trying hard. Maybe the game comes so easily sometimes to Connor. Maybe that's a part of it, because it does, because he is utter class. Like you say, he's so good to watch. But yeah.
It's a shame, in my view anyway, that he's not found a way to harness that talent to a greater effect, both for Hull and ultimately for his country, because I do think he's one of the great talents that we do have in Super League, which is so it is a shame.
I think he was getting there. And then there's been a stroppiness maybe. I'm not sure how to describe it, but like you say, it would be fantastic if he did put those efforts in and showed everything that you want to see from him.
Yeah, it would. It would. Let's see if he can turn it on against Hull KR this week in the other derby.
Yeah, no bans for Hull FC, but Toulouse did get a ban, a grade C headbutt charge, 2-match penalty notice for Romain Navarrete. So obviously missed during the game, but picked up on in the match review panel, which is, I guess, why we have that second line of checking the game footage. But seems like if it's a headbutt, you'd expect that to have been picked up. Next game, talk about Huddersfield versus Warrington. This was a big, high-scoring game.
Bizarre game, yeah. Literally the game of two halves, this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, Huddersfield were leading 32-10 at half-time, but the final score was 38-36. Still to Huddersfield, but much closer than it looked like it might have been. 4,894 was the crowd.